because we were in the same party, but we never even looked at each other.
Things, and I went to bed, and next morning I woke up, he had messaged you. Kind of just start.
It happened pretty much like that.
It doesn't. You don't want them to know that.
Okay.
Well, it'll be our
Well, the initial meeting was because of a friend of hers that actually follows gospel rap, and again, I'm a gospel rap artist, as well as I had an gospel internet radio station, and so I actually reached out to her because I found out she was doing spoken word. Yeah, she was cute. So she was cute. So I called and I asked her. I messaged her and I asked her was she interested in perhaps doing an internet radio show? Because of course I used the facade. I would love to have a spoken word show on the radio. And she said, "Sure, let me come in and check it out."
You left out the best part.
Okay, tell me.
So he posted a question on Facebook.
I did.
Yeah, and we weren't friends on Facebook.
They don't know that we kind of.
I don't. You don't want them to know that.
Okay,
well, it'll be our secret.
Okay. Don't.
Who said that? Didn't somebody say that? It's like between us.
Right.
It'll just be between us.
Right.
Well, anyway, he put a question out on Facebook saying, "Who is your prayer partner?" And so a very good friend of mine, Yo-Yo, said, Delicia, and she tagged me in the post. And so I came on the post and I was like, "Yep, that's right. I'll pray for you and help you slash his tires." And she was like, "Oh my goodness, that's Pastor Chris." I'm like, "I don't care. God's not through with me yet. It's okay."
Still ain't through.
So still not through with me. And so we just started like a little joke back and forth with the three of us. And that is how we actually met, because once we had that interaction on Facebook, we became friends. And she was like, you don't know Pastor Chris? I'm like, no, our paths have never crossed. And he reached out to me, and of course he's the brainchild behind Gospel Radio Nation, and he was looking for radio personalities to do shows. Is really how we connected. It was just really all business.
Yeah, it was business
at first.
I had to make a choice between business and oh, she cute, and so in my mind, my funds was pretty tight, so business was gonna win over oh, she cute. And so I reached out to her straight professional, and I was like, "Hey, would love for you to come in and check out what we're doing at gospelradionation.com. See if you want to do a radio show." Thought it'd be a great opportunity for her and other spoken word artists to be able to have an international radio show, as well as I would have another show on the air.
Right.
And so she came in and.
Well, I came in because I was interested in doing the radio show as well, because I was expanding my brand as an artist. I've been doing shows around the city, and I was just at that plateau where it was time to do something to take it to the next level. Boy, did God take me to the next level, to say the least. But I came in with my cousin, who looks like a big linebacker football player, and I just remember coming.
Okay.
I just remember coming through the door and seeing your face. And it was just
Who
like
brings sand to the beach? You know what I'm saying? I'm the beach.
Automatically, he was just like, "Okay, all right."
Okay, I was professional. This is
professional. And I was like, "This is my cousin." And he was like, "Oh,
how you doing,
hey." And they had, long story short, they had a beautiful conversation in front of me. I actually played the background at that time, and I got a chance to see him operate in ministry. I got a chance to see him share his experiences and his heart with someone else that had nothing to do with relationships. It had nothing to do with trying to, talk to me or woo me or anything like that. I just got a glimpse into what he was already doing and where he was in his life. And so at the end of that meeting, we got ready to leave. And want to tell the next part?
Got ready to leave. She was about to leave. Of course, I was still at the station. And so I asked her, quite frankly, I said, "Do you mind if I call you?" And she was like, "Oh, yeah, sure." We got plenty to talk about. And I was like, no. Want to be clear, of course. I didn't want to be creepy and call and begin to speak more personal. And so I said, no, I want to call you, not about radio. And she said, yeah. Okay.
And I was like, yeah, okay, sure. So then we began.
So the next
journey.
day, actually, that was Thursday. And then Friday, it was so funny. So we talked that evening on the phone for a little while. And then Friday, the next day, Pastor Lana, who we call Auntie Lana, she's actually one of our assistant pastors at Iron County Church, shameless plug. And so what happened was she was getting off of her radio show on that Friday, which is normally 6. And her co-hosts were leaving like an hour early, which they never do. And so I'm Pastor Chris. I'm sitting in the radio station on a Friday night, single Pastor Chris by himself, trying to do what the Lord called him to do. Yeah, and I'm just following the Lord and doing what I'm supposed to do, just praying and fasting and praying and fasting. And so I'm sitting there, and these two literally, I'm sorry, Pastor, senior citizen women come out of the
saints.
Okay, but they are senior citizens. Come out of the radio station office into the reception area while I'm sitting down by myself.
Oh my God!
Watching TV, and they say we leaving early. We're leaving early, Pastor Chris. And I'm like, you leaving early? They never leave early. And so they say we're leaving early, and I'm like, where you going? And they digging in their purse. They all happy. Oh, we going to a party. Got a big house party at her daughter and son-in-law house. They got a big, beautiful house. They're gonna have a band there. Oh, it's gonna be great. And then they actually look like they felt sorry for me because I'm younger than them, and I'm at the gospel radio station by myself on a Friday. They're talking about, you should come. And I'm looking at it like, what does my life come to? Like, Lord, I'm getting invited to parties
by the season saints.
By the season saints. And so, honestly, once they told me they were going to have a band and a live band there, I didn't know what the live band was going to be. Ended up knowing the guy, great band.
Right, great band.
But I said, okay, can I bring somebody? And they don't ever see me with nobody. So they were like, who you going to bring? I'm like, I can get a date now. Don't get it messed up now. You know, Pastor Chris still in style.
Oh, you're still.
I'm still in style. I really am. And so
like she
they said, yeah. It's my humbleness is one of my best qualities.
It is.
And so they said yeah. And so when they left, I called her and asked her, did she want to go to a party? And she was like, sure, I'll go. And I heard it in her voice, and I said, I get the impression you want to drive yourself. She said yes.
Yes,
and,
absolutely.
Yeah. And so because I know. I know the difference between a grown woman and a girl. And grown women do not go on first dates and sometimes second, third dates with men they just met in their car. They like to drive their own vehicle. So I like that. I like the fact that she not only that she was making sure I wasn't crazy, but that she was independent and that she was willing to go. She was open to it, but she wasn't all this demand list.
Yeah.
Like, pick me up here. I got to be in by this time, and you get and it was a free thing. Cause you could have been crazy.
Well, I needed to be able to leave. If I
Me too. But you could have.
It was a cold winter night.
It was not a cold winter night. It was April.
Okay, so it was April
in Houston.
In Houston, we met. Ironically, we actually met. What was it? Maybe like a year or so before we actually were introduced, because we were in the same party, but we never even looked at each other.
I thought he was with his girlfriend because he was over there talking, having a good time, and I was like, oh, that must be his girlfriend. So I didn't pay any attention to him, and I actually was with someone that lived in an apartment complex right next door. So I was trying to get him to come to the party, or I go over there, but that ended up not working out. So I just stayed at the party and we hung out, but we met, a year later? At your birthday party.
My birthday party.
Yeah, I saw him across the room and I was like, oh.
Excuse me, miss. Why are you from the house? Sorry.
No. I was like, oh, okay, good looking guy, but no more than that. So.
You thought I was good looking?
I thought you were good looking.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Oh. But, so at the party, she came. She wasn't even going to come. Mm-hmm. And she shows up, and she has a little hair in a puff, and she sits down next to my friend's wife. And so we were just sitting there, and I'm just like, this could be a perfect opportunity. I'm like, let me see if I can work some juice and magic You know, it's my birthday. I might get a birthday kiss. You know.
Oh, really? That's what you thought?
What?
Okay.
Honesty.
Okay.
I just wanna be honest.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. So yeah, nothing happened. And then what? A year later, a whole year later.
It's not that nothing happened. We stayed in communication after your party because remember we were in the parking lot for like 3 hours.
Yeah, but that was after you like rejected me like 4, 5, 6, 7, 18 times.
We met via Facebook, and he was I'm friends with my cousin, and I just woke up one day and actually was going to bed one night and saw that he was my friend, and I'm like, I don't recall, becoming friends, and I saw that he was a really good guy. He didn't have a lot of friends and didn't seem like a womanizer. He had a lot of Christian, spiritual, I should say, quotes, and he sang in the choir. So before I knew it, I was liking things, and I went to bed, and next morning I woke up, he had messaged me, and it kind of just started for me.
Yeah, I think she's kind of being modest a little bit. She had like just about every picture I had on there. Anyway, and I kind of woke up about 3 in the morning. I was on the East Coast. She was on the West Coast.
Yeah, kind of sleepless in Seattle.
So, I ended up hearing my phone keep going off during the middle of the night. So I get up and I was like, who's this person that's email? I mean, looking at all these pictures and everything. So since I didn't, I saw it that it was her, but when I recognized her picture, for some reason, when I first became friends with her, I don't know why, but it was like, I guess one of those Boaz moments when I looked at her picture and I was like, man, that's her. And I don't know why I said this or whatever, but something in my soul was like, this is her.
That's right. That's right. So yeah, and it just kind of took off. And I mean, I'll be honest, they weren't all like profile pictures of him. There were pictures of his family, and and it was nice pictures. So I probably did like, oh my God, this is nice, and liked them, but it wasn't like, like I said, woke up the next morning and it was like the tooth fairy kind of thing. There I had this message from him, which I had forgotten about because I went to bed, and I was like, oh, that's right. And we just started talking, and next thing I knew, we talked for like 72 hours straight. Well, if we weren't talking, we were texting, but we ended up talking that whole night when we finally did talk. And we wanted the same things. We had reached this point in our life where our values were the same. We had the same spiritual walk, and it was just effortless. And there was a certain component that kind of grabbed my heart, and that was that he looked like a dear family member to me that had passed away. And so I felt that it was this, I don't know, I just felt like it was this confirmation, and I had just been praying the other day and actually thinking of that family member. And so it just all lined up,
Actually, and that was a series of events from the time we actually started talking through those 72 hours where we were just pretty much nonstop. I had to work the next day. We had to work the next day. But we kind of.
You sang at a wedding, and I was going to.
That was Saturday.
Yeah, that next day. Yeah.
So we met. It was pretty much on a Friday, going into a Friday morning, and then talked all day Friday, pretty much, and then on Saturday I had a wedding and she had a conference.
I had a conference at my church.
Yeah. So so I sang at this wedding, and we were talking on the phone then as well, and. After a few days, and we decided that we had to meet to see if this was going anywhere. And I sent for her, and we flew her in to Maryland, and we've been pretty much together ever since.
But what was really neat? I think I could say this. I think it was a major clincher that when he was calling the airline to book my flight, we were on the three-way with this travel agent or reservation agent. I had to give her my information, and we have the same last 3 in our social. I did mention something like that, and that's when he was like, okay, hey, you want to come here? I'll come there. And I was like, no, I'll come there. So, but again, even though I stated it, it was more of a checking boxes because I didn't feel that from him at all. And I don't think you felt that from me either. But it was just like, okay, let's be sensible about this. We've got to come, pull our head out of the clouds, right? And let's do.
Well, I had done all this investigative work, so overnight I'm like checking, because it really her profile listing didn't say anything. I'm going, really? And so I'm like I'm looking at shirts, I'm looking at locations, I'm trying to put two and two together to see where she was located, and I finally pieced together enough information where I actually found, I was pretty much accurate. I figured out she was in the Bay Area and, in California, and, I was looking at different things, and like I said, it was pretty accurate the way it came out.
He had help too, because I had run for office, so.
Actually, I happened to be back home in Houston. I was living in Atlanta, and my mom broke her leg, so I came home to be with her during the ordeal. In the process, I had an aunt that was actually dying from emphysema, and Sonia happened to be her nurse. So they kind of coordinated this situation where, I want my nephew to meet my nurse. So, they wound up coordinating that, and Sonia, she came by and so we became friends. And from there, one thing led to the next, and I'll let Sonia talk a little while.
It happened pretty much like that. At the time, I wasn't interested in meeting anyone. I was in the prime of my life, and while taking care of his aunt, I began to know his mom. And like I said, me and his mom was friends. He went back to California. We stayed friends. I stayed helping her, and we just got together, and we've been together ever since. About a year?
No.
You guys were friends?
No.
6 months. 6 months.
No.
You went back to California.
I know, but I didn't stay that long. I went there
he came back
I came
probably
back
for me.
maybe like 2 months.
2 months.
Yeah, about 2 months.
Really?
And then I wound up, my sister had gotten remarried. She married a guy from Huntsville, Texas. I went up there to manage his, he had a nightclub. So I moved to Huntsville to help with my brother-in-law's nightclub. And in the process, Sonia would come up to visit, and then one thing led to the next. I moved back to Houston, and we moved in together. So, then we were really dating, and all that took place within maybe a 6 months time from meeting to moving in together.